name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Let's go to the next tweet. I need to finish this video. I was looking at something on the side. This is another video. Oh, okay. So that was going over. The panelists were like, what's the problem with Meghan's video? The host was so frustrated and biased, so the panelists who are her friend don't want to go too hard against her, but do it kindly. Okay, 2 minutes and 26 seconds. I guess it can. Oh my God, it's 5 minutes. All right, so let's listen to her.
Welcome, Melinda, Danny and Michelle. Fabulous to have you here. We're talking, of course, about the Meghan footage, because how can we not? Because everyone's talking about it. Melinda, let's start with you. I mean, what do you make of it?
Well, I actually saw it for the first time this morning and, sort of saw the kind of buzz that was happening around it. And, I mean, personally, my kind of view is that I actually feel really sorry for Meghan and Harry, and I think that they end up getting a huge amount of vitriol for just about anything and everything that they do. There's a huge amount of attention that's put on them, and it might not be what we all want to do, but that's fine, isn't it? To me, it looked like, well, actually they were a young couple kind of celebrating and enjoying the sort of, the moment, the imminent moment before the birth of their daughter. And why not? What harm does it do?
No reason why not at all. No reason why not. It's just, why share it with the entire universe? I mean, whatever they did in the privacy of their delivery suite is entirely up to them. And if they felt joyful and she felt flexible and vital enough to dance like that, brilliant. Why not? Fabulous. But Daryl, share it with everybody, because obviously it's not going to just be her 3 million followers. It's going to be everyone else in the universe, all looking at what you might say is an intensely private moment.
Yeah, well, and here we are talking about it. So absolutely, I think it's interesting because obviously there's this sort of big tussle, isn't there, with Meghan, and she demands privacy and then she shares bits of her life. And
these people need to stop with that privacy nonsense. Meghan have already responded to that.
Shouldn't you have an expectation that you're going to have to lose privacy?
Well, it's two things here.
That's part of the deal.
Two things here. I think everyone has a basic right to privacy. Basic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're not talking about anything that anybody else wouldn't expect. So if you're at work and you have a photograph of your child on your desk and your coworker says, "Oh my gosh, your kid's so cute, that's fantastic. Can I see your phone so I can see all the pictures of your child?" You go, "No, this is the picture I'm comfortable sharing with you." And then if they double down and say, "No, but you already showed me that one, so you have to show me everything." You know what, I'm just going to hire someone to sit in front of your house or hide in the bushes and take pictures into your backyard, because you've lost your right to privacy because you shared one image with me.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of the flawed argument and its operating mechanism that they're confusing people to think.
She demands privacy and then she shares bits of her life.
I think life is about being able to share our stories and share parts of our lives that you're comfortable with.
Well, she didn't talk about privacy.
There's no one who's on Instagram or social media that would say, because I shared this one picture, that entitles you to have my entire camera roll. Go ahead, look through it. No one would want that. So it's about boundaries and it's about respect. They've created a false narrative. I've never talked about privacy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just a basic understanding.
She enjoyed the moment. She was able to do it privately with her husband. Okay, this is the kind of separation. The privacy of her room in the hospital, doing her thing. You didn't have the tabloid coming recording it while they were doing it for the sake of journalism. They did their thing, they enjoy it, they share it with us. 4 years later, after they have already, it's out of their system. Okay, the kid is walking now, enjoying her birthday at Disneyland. Meghan never said anything about privacy. You guys, you're still sticking with this. This is why you guys are self-destructing.
So it's about boundaries and it's about respect.
She already responded to this about privacy.
I think, for me that's fine. I don't think that that's a contradiction. I don't think that that's her undermining herself, because I think the point of being able to have privacy, as all of you know on this panel, is that you do not want to have the press intruding in your life, but you should be in charge of what you share. And so they have decided as a couple, this is a moment that they are going to share with the world. It's lovely, it's joyful. It was done, I think, to mark Lilibet's birthday, wasn't it, as well? And of course, that was just the moment before she was born, which is really nice. So I don't think it's any of our business to decide whether or not she decides it's her business to share it, right?
No, this is the picture I'm comfortable sharing with you.
I think,
I think it remains her own business as long as she keeps it her own business. As soon as she makes it public to the public, which is us, we're...
And guess what? It's her own page. Her IG page. That's her IG page. You don't like her? Why are you even following her on IG to see what she's posting? She's posting it for her fan. Okay? Her fan. There's tons of videos after hers. I'm seeing a whole bunch the squad are sharing. Okay? You don't like her? Don't go on her page. She didn't go onto your page to post this. She put it on her page. Oh my Lord. You know what? Forget it. I can't find the tweet that I was looking for. Let me just finish with that. I added 2 more tweets into this video, to the list here. Did I finish it? Yeah, it's done with, I think.
We're entitled to have an opinion because it now is not just her business, it's also our business. Now, I do want your calls on this, of course.
Alright, so that's that. Did I read what I wrote? Let's pause this. Okay, she posted it on her IG page, not mine or yours, hers. If anyone don't like her, why are they following her to see what she's posting? Don't follow her if you don't like her. Right. Oh my God, this is 5 minutes. 3 callers and 1. I just love the way the callers gave this woman such a hard time. Okay, so let's listen.
Caroline, you're cool with it. You think it's fine.
Yes, I do. I'm one of Meghan's Instagram followers, actually. And I can't understand...
Yes?
Yes?
Yes? You can't understand what?
I can't understand why people are hyperventilating. It's her video, and what's upset me the most is that the media has missed the actual point of why she put the video out. She was celebrating Lilibet's 4th birthday, which I didn't see the rest of the royal family mark that occasion.
Well, how would you like them to mark it? She's far away and her grandfather hasn't seen her. I think since she was...
Don't they have an public account to say happy birthday to Lily? How she would, I mean, are you living on Stone Age? Oh my Lord.
What do you mean? Mention it on their website.
That's
or say the royal family says happy birthday. It's like people want them to be in exile and disappear and no one hears from them again. Right. They're doing things on their own term, and I, for one, I'm happy that they're doing it.
Okay, let me just...
I'm glad most Brits are talking and refute this nonsense, these people. Look at her face. The vial that's within her is showing through her face. But let's continue.
Ask about what Quentin said. He said it was distasteful. So do you think it's a matter of taste? You know, it's up to you to put anything up on social media you like. But there are some things you might think, well, actually, that's just for us. That's just a bit private. That's not for the whole world.
Well, you guys should have understand when they were asking you guys to give them their privacy that they need. All of a sudden, you understand what privacy is now? All of a sudden you understand what privacy is? Well, they were doing it at the privacy of their room. It was just them. They put the camera somewhere and they record themselves. They enjoyed the moment. It was there. Heavy mentioned it in his book. And then now they're done with it. 4 years later, the kid grows, walk, went to Disneyland, and then they decided to share it with you. Okay? You don't like anything that she's doing? Guess what? Unfollow. The same way I don't follow these people if the squad don't share their videos.
I think life is about being able to share our stories and share parts of our lives that you're comfortable with.
that if they thought that bit was just going to be private, they wouldn't put it out. They put it out because they felt comfortable.
Right.
They felt comfortable with putting it out. They were happy to put it out. The only people that got major objection to it and are hyperventilating is the media, because damn if she does and damn if she don't. And I just say, keep on doing what they're doing. If it upsets the establishment, so be it.
Right, Caroline, thank you.
The more they upset, they're happier.
Right, big fan of Meghan's there. Thank you, Caroline. Very in Derbyshire. Yvonne, your daughter did exactly the same thing. Tell us more.
She used to do things like that in her own home and send it to the family for us all to have a good laugh.
Yeah.
So,
including very heavily pregnant in the delivery suite?
No, not in the delivery suite, because she had a bit of a bad time. She having the baby. But I mean, I think people should leave them alone and let them get on with what they're doing. That's probably, she was nervous, she was probably taking a bit of strain off her and, you know, trying to make light of the situation, because having a child is very difficult for anybody.
Absolutely. But when you say, you know, people should leave them alone and let them get on with it, that's not what social media is for. You don't post because you just want everyone to leave you alone. You post because, as Melinda says, you're reaching out to say something or other. Now, you might just be saying, as Melinda very generously and sweetly says, I went through this, you might have been through this, you know, we're all human.
So now she has to put a reason why she wants to post something? My goodness, this is for her fan. Many of us will, our friends, the ones who've been following her since day one, before TIG, before all the other things. She's putting it for her fan. This is what I was doing. Have you already talked about it? What is wrong with these people?
Relate to each other, or you might be saying you think that I'm posh and stuck up and privileged, but actually I'm just like you. I'm an ordinary person. Buy my jam. You might be trying to, you know, you might be trying to rebrand yourself. But the one thing you're not doing, Yvonne, is saying leave me alone and let me get on with it. That's not what you're doing. If you want that, you don't post. You don't need to post, do you?
She owes no one no explanation, especially the UK, because she's not getting paid from the taxpayers. She owed them absolutely nothing. It's not like Fragmore, when you guys were wanting to know everything about her privacy. You used the Fragmore cottage renovation as a collateral for her to show her privacy and things like that. She paid back. So this is not the UK. Everything that she's doing it because she wants to. Okay, she could have easily put the video out without any caption. Her and her husband knew why they were doing the dancing. And she literally put a caption on the video saying that she tried everything, nothing worked. That was the last result. And then they decided to record it. And 4 years later, they shared it with the public. These people should understand, they don't have to follow Meghan. She left the country. She left the UK. They don't have to follow her. They literally told her to go back to America.
If you want to be private, go back to America and live privately. It's pretty straightforward.
And this is where she's at, her home country, doing her own thing. They don't have to follow her and then complain about it. This is a self-inflicted, demonic kind of thing these people have going on within themselves.
Yeah, but probably not. Well, I think people, because there's a lot of nasty comments out there, and they're only human like the rest of us. Keep your nastiness to yourself.
Well, that's a worthwhile thing to say. Keep your nastiness to yourself. Quite right. Agree with that. Let's go to Donna. Fine with this. Did you enjoy watching it?
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
It was lovely. It was really nice to see. I don't know why everybody's having such a hissy. She's in labour. She's in her room. It's her and her husband.
That's right.
Actually, at that time, that song, the Baby Mama song,
Yes.
it was a trend where a lot of pregnant women were doing exactly the same thing that Meghan's doing. She's decided to share it. I know they know the backlash they're going to get, and at this point, I think they don't actually care, and I'm actually 100% behind them not to give a damn about anybody else. Get on with your life. They're no longer working royals. They're no longer in England. They're just doing their thing. I think people need to just give them a break.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Donna. Let me ask you something just for you. Melinda said everyone must be... Yeah, question for you. Everyone must be nice and only say something if it's nice. Is that why you're not mentioning Prince Harry's dancing? And I say dancing in inverted commas. Is that why? Because you're so nice you can't mention it?
He's cute.
No,
Look at
he
him. He's
actually
having
done
fun.
quite well. I'm going to say that he's done quite well.
Donna!
I'm with Donna.
It's a good move there.
Yeah.
He's done quite well. But I think that they're just having a little moment, and it's really, really, you know, who is it harming? Nobody.
Oh, God. I mean, everyone should be nice to everyone, and this is meant to be a show where we all feel very jolly at the end of it, but he's a good dancer, Michelle, come on.
Oh, do you know what, though? I mean, I've got a husband who has 2 peg legs, so he's actually really good compared to Hughie. Sorry, Hughie, I love you, darling.
He's got moves.
He's got moves. And it's a style, isn't it? It's a particular style he was going for.
Kind of style.
It's like he's cut out of cardboard and it's absolutely shocking. All right, not that I don't love him, but honestly, all right, don't go anywhere because I'm going to be...
It was kind of cringe to listen to it. Okay, Vanessa, let's pause this. Vanessa looks 300 years old, probably all saw grapes inside her. I didn't want to say it myself, but you say it, and I cannot challenge you. I can't wait for this dry head, gobble gobble neck, Vanessa's show to be no more. I am tired of her nasty mouth. She needs to go watch and criticize those wrinkles on her hateful face. Alright, let's leave that alone. Let's go to the next one. Okay, I said I added, let me pause, did I just lost where I was? I added 2 tweets, but I'll do it last. Let me finish with the list. This was last on my list, and then there's 2 more after that. 11 years later, nothing has changed apart from the fake Mother's Day photo and the Disappearance Act. Okay, so this is New York Post. That was back in 2014. Mooning the world is the most interesting thing Kate Middleton has done. Prince William and Kate posed for a pic in Katoomba, Australia, where the infamous shot were taken. What else have they done? Okay, so that was back in 2014. Wow. The New York Post is owned by Rupert Murdoch. A headline like that will surely have to be approved by Lachlan since he's the boss. Is that even real? Because wow, 2014, yeah, it was very real. Go back pre-Meghan days, you will see a lot of savage headlines like these. Okay, and she loves mooning the world. If you know, you know. They don't call her Kate made a bump for nothing. Alright, let's go to the next tweet. Okay, this is one of the tweets that I just added to the list, okay? Alright, so let's pause. I'm loving the support she's getting from so many people who are just sick and tired of being sick and tired. Meghan has found her audience, and I couldn't be any more happier to a part of it. Alright, let's listen. This one is 3 minutes.
So I don't usually make posts about social commentary. I usually hold my counsel about what's going on in the news and mind my own business. But having seen some of the comments coming from the press in response to Meghan Markle sharing the video of her and Harry dancing while she was in labour with their child, I really did feel the need to come on here and actually say something, because I find it really frustrating to see certain narratives being perpetuated all the time when it comes to women and how they should birth, what birth looks like. I definitely think a lot of the comments are very misogynistic and, dare I say it, sprinkled with a lot of misogynoir as well, with Meghan being a woman of mixed heritage. So for those of you that haven't seen it, and maybe I'll find a way to include it in this video, Meghan is in her birth room with Harry, I guess in the early stages of labour, and she's having fun. She's dancing to a silly trending song. She's like squatting down low, she's moving her hips, she's swaying, she's moving. And some of the comments that have come back from that is that it's indecent, that is not becoming. I mean, the fact that she's a royal, they're saying it's not becoming of a royal, that's not what a woman in labour should be doing. And to me, I think that speaks to a lot of the old-fashioned ideas that people still hold. The idea that a woman should be perhaps completely still, lying on her back, legs up in stirrups, maybe legs open, waiting to be delivered of her baby. But actually what Meghan is doing with the help of her husband is putting herself into a position where her body is actually far more likely to progress with that labour naturally, or at least more efficiently compared to being stationary. So she's upright, she's forward, she's mobile, she's using gravity. When she's in an upright position, her pelvis is unobstructed. It means that her daughter can make her way into the pelvis and down into the birth path, versus lying flat on her back where things are compressed. Her baby needs to be born uphill. When she's having fun, she's laughing, she's giggling, she's got her husband being silly alongside her, she's releasing oxytocin. Oxytocin is one of the key hormones of labour that is responsible for getting surges going and keeping them going efficiently. If a woman doesn't have natural oxytocin going on for her, then the medical option is syntocinon, which is the artificial drip, which doesn't behave in the body in the same way as natural oxytocin does. So I just want to say that these comments coming out are from people that perhaps have very, very outdated ideas, rooted in misogyny that they're not even aware of, and the fact that they are deciding to criticise the way a woman chooses to be in her birth, in her labour. I think there's a lot wrong with that in a system where women already feel like they need to ask permission, that they need to just go along with what they've seen on telly or what other people have done. I think it's really damaging for a woman, a high-profile woman like her, for lots of people to see her be shot down for choosing to have fun, to move, to be active. She's actually doing a great thing in terms of helping labour to progress naturally. So little rant over. This is as ranty as you'll get from me. But what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen the video? It made me laugh, to be fair. I am not interested in royals at all. All I saw was a couple, young expectant couple, looking forward to meeting their child, having fun whilst doing so, and the mother actually really getting down, dropping it down low to help her baby make her way out. Tell me what you think.
All right, let's listen to the next one.
I don't understand why so many of you hate Meghan. Like, you hate her. You actually have hatred in your heart for somebody that you've never met. Like, this woman, all she has to do is breathe. She breathes out of line and you lot are onto her. And the comments I'm seeing online, classless. They're tacky. The royal family would never do that. Not the royal family caught up in the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. Not the royal family who were friends and frequently partied with Jimmy Savile. Not the royal family who were adulterers. Not the royal family who treated Princess Diana like absolute shite. But God forbid Harry and Meghan are in the labour room catching a vibe, doing a challenge, the baby mama challenge from 4 years ago, decide to share a moment online showing their fun personalities. And the worst part of it is, look at the shape of her baby bump. They definitely used a surrogate. There's no way that she was pregnant. Are you guys, like, are you not sick? Are you unwell? First of all, you can clearly see that Meghan's got monitors around her belly, right? The moves that she's doing, those moves, first of all, the girl can dance. You lot are just jealous because you could never. Secondly, those moves are going to help the baby come out, right? She's doing all the right things. Look how happy they both look in this video. Some of you lot are so bitter. And the maddest thing is, right, 90% of you are just peeved that Harry married a woman of colour. That's what it comes down to. That's why you're so peeved. Because you can't believe he went against the grain. You don't have to like Meghan. Not everybody likes everyone. Not everyone is for everyone, right? You don't need to like her. You don't need to compare her to Kate. Her and Kate are two completely different people. Kate is very calm and placid and, you know, doesn't go against the grain. She's, you know, she does everything she's supposed to do. That's Kate. Great. Good for her. Meghan's a bit more colourful around the edges. She likes to have a bit of fun. You might not like her. She might not be your cup of tea. That's okay. the last thing I'm going to say on this as well, you lot are quick to be mocking someone when they use a surrogate. Many women use a surrogate because they can't carry a child because of health complications. There's nothing wrong with using a surrogate. Like, can we stop shaming people because of the way that they chose to bring a child into the world? Like, they didn't have a natural birth, they used a surrogate. Oh my gosh, God forbid. Like, get a life.
I'm thinking of putting these videos by themselves and another video.
They continue with this ridiculous argument about, I can't believe she's doing it because they requested privacy. Don't they want to be private? So because she's requested privacy, she can't make a decision to post something on her Instagram account?
I think life is about being able to share our stories and share parts of our lives that you're comfortable with. So it's about boundaries and it's about respect. They've created a false narrative. I've never talked about privacy. I think that's just a basic understanding.
The one that she owns and runs? The request for privacy is about other people intruding or disturbing their lives. It's about them wanting their family to feel safe. They don't want people jumping out of the bushes to take photos of them. That is what the privacy is about. Her making a decision to start a podcast or have a TV show on Netflix or starting a product line and going on TV shows to get the word out about their product line. Those are her decisions. The request for privacy is about intrusion into their lives by other people.
Yep.
Those are two different things. The argument is stupid.
The thing that it's finished, by the way, 1 second left. The thing that the British media wanted to do while Harry and Meghan are in the delivery room doing this video, they wanted to be there. They wanted to filming it themselves for them to share on their own platform so they could make their own money. Where Meghan is saying, no, let me enjoy my moment, my private moment with my husband, do my silly things. Let's say there's something in the video they didn't like. They probably remove it and put the version that they like and put it out there for us to see. And that was like 4 years ago. They enjoyed the moment. It's been 4 years since that video. Okay, they cherish it, they enjoyed it, they like it, and then okay, I'm done with it. It's out of my system now. The rest of the world could enjoy it. While they're talking about it, I'm up to something else. I'm enjoying the my daughter's birthday, my daughter's 4-year birthday. While the rest of the world is still talking about the video that was done 4 years ago. All right, so let's go to the next one.
Meghan Markle is the Duchess
of Sussex.
And people are, for whatever reason, they just don't like her. Like they come all in on. I don't know, but they come out of the woodwork to criticize her. I guess because they left the royals.
She didn't want to follow tradition.
I gotta say, what people? That's going to be my next question, right? Like, who doesn't like her? I got nothing against her.
And this is the thing here, because of that. The British media are whining for something that is very innocent. It's bringing people who probably will never talk about Harry and Meghan are now talking about Harry and Meghan. And they see the innocence of the video and they see what it is all about. They understand why she was doing her dancing and they distinguish the privacy and public kind of thing. People have eyes and ears. This is what happens when you follow your own senses. You understand reality. But these British media want you to forget about all your natural senses and rely on them only to guide you to stupidity. I don't see these guys would have been talking about Harry and Meghan in any shape or form. But because the British media are bashing on them for no reason, hey, there they are talking about it.
Me neither. Right. But I think you're going to like her more, Mike. Go. All right. So this video came from her Instagram page.
Oh, we got new stuff.
From her Instagram page.
Okay.
She said
it's working.
When the spicy food and all the other things aren't working, what she posted, the baby wasn't coming. So they decided to play the baby mama song
and twerk it out
and have a dance party in the hospital.
Work that, man. Okay.
All right. And you know, And in case you know, Prince Harry was like, I'm gonna get in on this a little bit myself. So the people who hate on her, are very upset. That is completely, in quotes, pathetic. It's undignified. You're supposed to have a certain level of stature. Why would you post something like that? It's disgusting. That's coming from media outlets and people overseas, like their media over there.
What does American
slamming
media
her?
say?
I thought it actually made them more relatable.
Yes,
Okay.
they can't do anything without critique or criticism, and negative criticism at that. People just haters. They're just haters. Like, they are having fun, living their best lives, celebrating their children, and we can't just be happy for them. It's backwards.
You like her more now, though.
Yeah, look, I've never disliked her, right?
Right.
But
She didn't do anything to anybody.
when she actually, I respected her, and what's this, Harry? Is that her husband?
Prince.
For being like, listen, man, we're not dealing with this nonsense of the royal family anymore. We're in love. We're good. We bouncing. You know what I mean?
Alright, let's not forget, every time people bring this up, you guys gonna be annoyed by me. William kick him out. And then they agree with William's decision, and then they move on.
I'm saying like when they did that, I was like, yo, big up to you, man, because I wouldn't walked away from that. Like, not me. I'd have been like, look, I was like, look, man, you got.
Well, this is the thing with the royal family. They put themselves in a pedestal, thinking that they're above everything. They're so prestige. They don't have any dirt. They don't have nothing, so they're above everybody. But Harry grew up over there. Okay? Meghan saw the behavior over there. Okay? It's rotten to the core. It stinks. It's dirty. So they're not losing anything. Once you understand what's behind the scene, behind the facade that they're putting. Alright? So this is the thing that the institution want people to believe. They're above everything. They're good. They clean. They all of that. But the thing behind the facade is nasty. They thought Harry and Meghan will beg to be back over there. When Harry and Meghan, two brilliant minds who could do and produce things. If you are a producer, you are the shit. You know how to produce things to sustain yourself instead of being a consumer. A consumer is someone who buys stuff, okay, who takes in other people's product. Okay, just like what's happening in the US right now. The US used to be a producer, but the Republican shift everything to China to produce things. So now we're relying on other people to produce things for us to sustain some of the things that we need. Okay, farmers are producers. They produce, they farm their land. And then people like me who don't have a farm, I buy their stuff to consume their food. So Harry and Meghan are producers. This is why they don't need the institution. So we need to understand that. It's almost finished. 7 seconds.
I have to get a line, babe. Like, we got a lot of pomp and circumstance around here. I grew up with this. I'm going to need this.
Prince Mike.
Right.
And then they were treating Harry like shit anyway. Let's go back to the next one.
Meghan Markle.
Okay. Harry grew up over there. They were treating him like shit. So, and like I said, he's a producer. Some of the things that he creates worth trillions of dollars.
Travelist will be in New York for Climate Week, celebrating our 5th anniversary. Since we launched in 2019, we have brought together 11 of the world's biggest and often competing travel and technology brands to work together on bringing sustainable tourism to the mainstream. Today, we are a $3 trillion coalition, guided by our independent advisory group of world-renowned sustainability academics and experts. We're really looking forward to being in New York with our founder, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, to celebrate everything that we have achieved together so far and sharing our vision for what's to come next.
But they refuse to leave him alone. All the money that he's creating to protect himself and all of that. Okay, this is my last one. Netflix and As Ever team watching Meghan's followers on video views climb. I thought that was funny. That's a GIF, by the way. Okay, Netflix and As Ever team watching the videos. And some of the squad are sharing the numbers, but when I go on IG, for instance, like this one, I cannot see the numbers. Okay, usually it shows, but for some reason I cannot see it. I cannot see the numbers. So those who could see the numbers might say, okay, I cannot see it. Some of them are in thousands of views, especially this video itself. Some squaddies are saying it's in the millions already. All right, so that's that. True, there's the thumbs up. People are laughing. Let's see here. The documentary we did on them is still one of our most watched documentaries of all times on Netflix, and huge, particularly in the UK, where people just devour everything about them. You may love them or hate them, but you're watching. Okay, so that's the CEO of Netflix. That's that. Ted planning season 3 and 4, counting the money. Right, Meghan. Now she needs to roll out some more gem. Joy also sell not just their trauma. In fact, during their docu, I only focus on the happy moment. I love it if they did a travel food show. Exactly. There's all of that. Okay, so that is it. Let's do a prayer. The last prayer that I did was pray for peace and joy. Let's pray for prosperity. Oops, prosperity. Let's do this one. Prayer for abundance, prayer for wealth. Almighty and everlasting God, so many ask for wealth for its own sake. Their reward is in the money itself. Mammon is their only God. I ask you for wealth, not for my gain, but that I may use it to bless others. Therefore, I petition you to increase my means to earning. Help me to bring in more, so that through you, this money may be used to help others. In your name, amen. I think this sort of fits perfectly for Harry and Meghan, because some of the things that they're doing, not only for themselves, but they're using their platform to help others. They donate to other charities and all of that. All right.
This is Felix for World Central Kitchen, reporting from Soufrière Primary School in the Caribbean island of Dominica. The school you can see behind me was devastated by Hurricane Maria back in 2017, and in fact it took a whole 2 years before pupils were allowed back on site. I'm now here with my colleague Jason to announce the completion of the first of our community relief kitchens. The kitchen will be used primarily to feed the needs of the 67 pupils here at the school, but we'll also be offering culinary training to the wider community when the school's not in session. We've been able to design the kitchen in such a way that it's resilient to future disasters and will be activated as a service kitchen to meet those needs if it arises. We really like to extend our thanks firstly to ResDM, the local partner on the ground here, and also to Meghan and Harry's Archewell Foundation, whose support have helped the project become possible.
You know what came to mind now? A little bit politics in that aspect. What the US is doing now, it's similar to the UK. Okay, you see how so many charities in the UK? The system in the US was built where people are putting money toward things to help society at large, but now Trump is removing all of that safety net. Okay, so now he's gonna make people rely on charities similar to the US, to the UK. You know how I said why there's so many charities in the UK, and then you have people pretending, the royal family, that they all for charity. Okay, so the US is copying the model of the UK. And what's happening with the deportation of people in the US, it's what was happening in the UK with the Rwanda project. But many people put a stop to it. People fought and put a stop to it.
Mr. Speaker, let me return to the Rwanda Migration and Economic Development Partnership. So 2.5 years after the previous government launched it, I can report it has already cost the British taxpayer £700 million in order to send just 4 volunteers. Those costs include £290 million payments to Rwanda, chartering flights that never took off, detaining hundreds of people and then releasing them, and paying for more than 1,000 civil servants to work on the scheme. A scheme to send 4 people. It is the most shocking waste of taxpayers' money I have ever seen. Looking forward, the costs are set to get worse. Even if the scheme had ever got going, it's clear it would only cover a minority of arrivals. Yet a substantial portion of future costs were fixed costs. For example, the annual direct payments to Rwanda, the contracts for escorts, the staffing in the Home Office, the detention and reception centres, and more. So the taxpayer would still have to pay out no matter how few people were relocated. And most shocking of all, over the 6 years of the Migration and Economic Development Partnership forecast, the previous government had planned to spend over £10 billion of taxpayers' money on the scheme. They did not tell Parliament that. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Rwandan government for working with the UK in good faith, because the failure for this policy lies with the previous UK government. It has been a costly con, and the taxpayer has had to pay the price.
So you, Trump, who gained the House, okay, in terms of politics, the Senate, the House of Representatives, which I said, the presidency, and we have a MAGA Supreme Court. So all form of government is under their control. This is why they could do some of the things that they are doing. It's not like people are not fighting for. So it's almost like a hostile takeover. They gather themselves, they get all position of government to do the things that they're doing. For people who's outside of the UK, people who's outside of the US, to say, how come this is happening? Why people are letting it be? Because the GOP, the MAGAs, okay, they work tactically. They gather all position of government so Trump could be able to do that. Okay, there are some Democrats who's fighting, but they don't have enough of them in the position to vote against it. Okay, so this might be a lesson for many things. A lot of people may not survive the next round, but at least they are showing themselves, and I hope some people understand what's going on. I was reading one of my comments about one of the videos that I did. I believe that video where I was saying, even though I don't like what's going on, but in a way I'm glad we all experience it, because there were too many people who were blind. I'm just paraphrasing in that particular video. And in the comment, someone with a really reasonable, which I agree with the person, is like, how did the comment go? They disagree with me. We didn't have to go through all of that, and people are suffering. All of that, I agree with all of that. Just because I say that we need to experience that, that doesn't mean I agree with the mistreatment of human being and all of that. Because there have been so many people, the warning, we give them warning after warning, to at least think ahead. If this happened, that could happen. The domino effect of things. But their minds are so minuscule, they can't process of cause and effect. So some people, unfortunately, deeply regrettable, they had to go through that pain in order for them to understand. We had Trump's first presidency, put kids in cages. I spoke about it in some videos. That alone should have told those Hispanic community to not vote for him again. What makes you think he was gonna change? Especially when he literally told you guys he was gonna do some of the things that he said he was doing now. And then we had COVID. That's another example. He allowed the pandemic to come in when President Obama had left a blueprint of how to combat a pandemic. He just threw that out, and thousands and probably millions of people died. But still, people didn't see that. So this is how I'm like, I don't know. I cannot feel any sorry for people. When I see black people going through it, I could feel sorry for it. But there's so many instances that the other groups, including the Middle Eastern, they saw what was going on. But here we are. Okay, so the comment, I understand it very well. I don't like to see pain. I don't like to see any living things go through pain. But unfortunately, I don't know if we had to go through what we are going through right now. But anyway, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
Bianca. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
You are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better